Okay, number 2 on your practice says aluminum oxide is formed when powdered aluminum is burned in oxygen. 400 kilojoules of heat is released in the reaction for every mole of aluminum oxide formed. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write the balanced equation for this problem. And we are making aluminum oxide. So aluminum oxide is going to be one of the products in this reaction. And when you write aluminum, aluminum is a +2. Oops, I'm sorry. Aluminum is a +3 and oxygen is a -2. So when we write them together, we end up with Al2O3. And that is made when aluminum is burned in oxygen. So we have aluminum. It's going to be just by itself, burning with oxygen. And whenever we write oxygen, we always write it as diatomic O2. Before I add my energy in, I'm going to balance this equation. So I have 2 aluminums here. I'm going to need 2 here. I have 3 oxygens and 2 oxygens. So I'm going to balance my oxygen first since I don't have even numbers there. I'm going to start by putting a 2 here, which is going to mean I have 6 oxygens, 6 oxygens, 4 aluminums. I need 4 aluminums. So there is my balanced equation without my energy added in. So if I go back into the problem, it says 400 kilojoules of heat is released in the reaction for every mole of aluminum oxide formed. So when I write my balanced equation, I actually have 2 moles of aluminum oxide formed. So if I have 400 for each mole, that means I'm going to have a total of 800 kilojoules of heat being released when the reaction happens. If the heat is released, that tells me that there is an exothermic reaction. So my heat is going to be written as a product. Last part of this problem is then to figure out if 94.5 grams of aluminum is burned, how much heat will be released. So the 2 things I want to focus on in this equation are that aluminum and the energy or the heat. For aluminum, I'm going to start with 4 moles. And 4 moles is equal to 800 kilojoules. I want to know if I start with 94.5 grams of aluminum, how much heat am I going to have total? So I don't know how much energy I'm going to have, but I do know that 94.5 grams of aluminum, I'll divide that by the molar mass of aluminum, and I get that 94.5 grams is 3.50 mole. So all that's left to do is cross multiply and divide. And when I cross multiply and divide, I'm going to take 3.50 times 800 divided by 4 to get my amount of energy. 3.50 times 800 divided by 4 is going to leave me with 700 kilojoules of energy.